That's how you get things done. It's perfect. Then later on, you go back and you're like, ah, some of these don't need to be 9. You set them back down. There's a checkbox on the right. Checkbox? Oh, look at that. That's neat. We'll get around to using that one day. The power wire connected. If it melts some of this ice, will it just like fall through the floor, or will it just float in space? We're gonna get more drinking water this way. It's gonna be perfect. Come on, baby. You guys having yucky lung? Come on. There's barely any slime lung left in this place. We've pretty much solved the slime lung problem. It's great. Come on. Just install some HEPA filters. We're almost done with slime lung. It'll work its way through the system. Where are the deodorizers? Somewhere in here. I've lost track of them. There's one. Yeah. The places that have lower slime lung concentration are the places with deodorizers. Boop, boom, ba-da-ba. This is where we keep the bad air. It's supposed to be bad in there. Come on. What are these people doing? Enjoying themselves right now? Get to work. It's openly flowing into the base. Yeah. Keeps people on their toes. Ooh, eggs? We could have some breakfast. Where's the egg cracker? That's in this base somewhere, right? Stoops don't have toes. Sounds like their problem. Definitely have an egg cracker somewhere. I remember having one. Where the hell did the egg cracker go? Once had the outfall from his bathrooms dump out over their cots. Well, that was a very good base. I really missed that one. Pointing at the egg cracker? Alright, where is it? If you could point at it, that means it really is here somewhere. There it is. Listen, if we have eggs, I want you eating them. Keep the food problem at bay. No, no, not the fry egg. Can I put that egg cracker? Fry egg. Turn that off. Put those back into the fish tank. Alright, turn that one off. What about tropical fry egg? Turn that one off? You should generally not eat the eggs of anything you don't have domesticated. Oh. Eh. For now, we'll keep that out. I'm sure it's fine. Hey, sweep that away. 30,000 kilocalories. Why are you not finishing this construction errand? I like how your spa has one weirdo in the corner cracking eggs. Yeah, it used to be part of the kitchen, but then things changed. Come on, guys, I need this air cooling system in place. Things are getting pretty warm in here. Closest job first. Oh, yeah. Maybe I'll turn that off so they'll just get back to doing their goddamn jobs. Not consumable schedule. Not priorities. That's the one. Priorities. It helps with big bases. I just want these pipes done. We'll turn this whole heat situation right around. How tall does a room need to be for plants to grow? Is like 2 tiles gonna be enough if I do hydroponics across the floor? Should I remove this ceiling and have it go taller? Whichever one they're gonna eat. Meal lice? Lice weed? We'll do a hydroponics tile. I guess I'll put the farm station over here, and these all be hydroponics. Your base is too hot for basically everything. Yeah, but we're gonna cool it down soon. It's all coming together. Replace the floor. Oh, good, I can replace the floor. That works. Sleet wheat. Alright. Alright, thermoregulators are built. They need power now. Come on. Close now. Close. So very close. Current load 0? Aren't you doing something? Looks like you're doing something. Oh. These wires aren't done being built. That's why. Come on! Oh man, are they done with the piping already? Wow. In that case, really focus on those wires. No hydroponics for the mealwood room, just the green ones, since it doesn't take anything. Guess I can make this the mealwood box. If they don't require water. The farm room you did. Yeah, but you said just change the tiles to normal farm tiles. Oh. Alright, cancel. Cancel. Ah, whatever, that was fun. Cancel. I think it's a 2 tile I need. There we go. Yes! cool air is flowing down. Might need to get more air flowing into the output pipe, or the input pipe, rather. Yes! Into the loop so you can redistribute. Here we go, see the temperature change happen in real time. Incredible. It's happening. We've saved the base! All the problems are behind us now. Truly beautiful. Truly beautiful. It's going some inside the base. Can't cool the whole planet. I'll show you who can't cool the whole planet. I'm gonna cool the whole damn thing. I think that might be, like, if there's a part of the game that I do wish was a little different. When you enter into, like, a spiral of defeat in this game, it takes hours for it to happen. Whereas Dwarf Fortress is like, oh shit, something went wrong. Like, within a half an hour, everybody's dead. Dwarf Fortress really, like, commits to the bit of the base being over. Actually not included, like, you could really limp along for a long time. A really long time. Doodle, 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 doodle. It's giving you a chance to correct the problem. I've had a few folks that are like, will say like, there's no turning around what's going on here. Alm, what's up? Alright, food delivery's going. Probably high prioritize all this here. Gave you a chance when the problem first occurred. That's the thing, like, heat change. There is no real first occurred. It's a very slow and insidious problem. The best part about shredding is when you forget about the prompts. That's why I made so many weird things in there. Choose a blueprint. Pinch of pepper seeds. Why not? First occurrence when you learn about insulated tiles. Nah. Catching up on animes you had not finished. Which ones? Up to date Monogatari, finish Nagatoro-san. Oh, nice. Alright, let's get some mealwood. Copy setting. There we go. Dig that up, please. %93 stress, all coming together. What show is that? What show were you watching to see how bad it gets? Farm station, do you require power? Oh, thank God. Myoji Isekai and Reborn to Master Blade. Reborn to Master Blade is actually, kind of fun in its overpowered protagonist, setup. I have a love for, like, garbage Isekai where the main character is just like, there's no tension here, this character could do whatever they want. And that's a fun one. It's not the best one, but it was fun. I had fun with that one. You just wonder if it's worth 2 more hours of your life? I mean, I can tell you it's not gonna, like, go anywhere. It's just gonna kind of spin its wheels until it's like, well, the adventure continues in the manga, which you could buy many volumes of right now. But, like, you've watched anime before. You expect that with most shows. Alright. Alright, we're having a power apocalypse. We have 5,000 tons of coal, guys. Come on. Yeah, it's not a show that gets 2 seasons. You say that, and yet worse shows have gotten 2nd seasons. Like, some of the shows, Reborn Another World with my cell phone, how the hell did that get a 2nd season? That show is trash. It's garbage, and yet that got another season. I love when, like, a bed loses power, so they just, like, walk to the next bed. Smartphone is the worst Isekai. It might be, and it got a 2nd goddamn season somehow. So at this point, I no longer like, oh, that's not gonna get another season, because who knows? Who even knows anymore? Alright, listen, food is high priority for you dum-dums. Woo woo. Ooh, research complete. You guys are actually making progress there? Who wanted a 2nd season of Classicaloid? The 1st season was already a double one. You've learned things about bad anime. From what we just talked about, or do you have something to share? If there's a manga of it, it could be an anime. If there's a manga of it, it could be an anime. If there's a light novel, it could be an anime. Or even original ideas could be anime. But there's quite a lot. So many things. Anything could be an anime. That is true. Even bad ideas. When you see something that's an anime original, like it doesn't have a manga or a light novel, those are the fun shows, because anything can happen. Now, also, me and Traxium have a shit the bed index, and once a show was like, oh, it's an anime original, it has no source material, it's like, oh, 100% shit the bed index. Alright. I'm getting the impression that we're running out of natural gas. You're dormant? Yeah, that's gonna be a problem. Yeah, exactly. Anime originals are either incredible or horrible. There's no in between. With the exception of, I would say, Wonder Egg Priority might be an in-between. Because that show started really strong. It was pretty great. And then they kind of just ran out of time and money. And the end of that show is just abysmal. It's just like, ah, oh, come on. But a lot of it was like, oh, they're going for some like heady ideas here. They're hitting above their pay grade a little bit, like they're trying something interesting. Yeah, it's too hot in there. I almost wish this game had something like Dwarf Fortress's Circus, just so that a Death Spiral could have, like, an exciting capper to it. It's like, well, you know what? At the very least, we're gonna go dig deep, dig greedily, and then everything can go up in a fantastic ball of flame. Original anime. My favorite original anime that I've seen recently. Just dig down. But there's no, like, circus down there. Just oil. I should find oil, though. I have trouble remembering which things are anime originals. Just dig up. Dig down, dig up. Is there a core? Can we have a fiery core down there? That might be worth digging down for. Where is my phone? Oh, I gotta look up a name. A fiery core. A frozen core. That sounds like fun. Oh yeah, I forgot Psycho Pass was an anime original. Psycho Pass was really good. Season 1, I should specify. Depressurize the whole base. Angel Beats was good. Kill the Kill was good. Samurai Champloo was good. These are all older, though. There's a new Madoka movie coming out, apparently. That caught me off guard. You really didn't like the main character in Psycho Pass? The main character in Psycho Pass sucks, but that's kind of like the point. Is they are in a bad system, and I feel like they make bad choices. They get better a little bit toward the end, but I really think they dropped the ball with like later seasons where she should have learned more from season 1. Like, it's hard to talk about without spoiling things, but let's just say she's a shill for a bad system. But that's what makes the second main character, the co-lead, so good. That dude don't stand for shit. He'll take the system down. That always ends the show for you? Yeah. I'm willing to, like, stick around to see if they grow and learn as a character. Revengers. But it's not great with some hindsight. Revengers was fun. Revengers and Psycho Pass being written by the same guy. Yeah, Orobocho? Orobochi? Orobochi, right? Orobocher? Shit. I'm trying to remember, it's like Gendo Orobochi, I think is his name? The Butcher? Yeah, Gen the Butcher. It's like, I remember his nickname. Orobochi. It's rare for me to remember a name, but like, he has so many... This is a man with so many tropes that he sticks to that there are bingo cards you could print out online for when a new project of his comes out. And I think that's fun. I am tempted to just vent the base just so I could be like, well, this base lasted longer than I thought it would, but it's time now. It's time to put it in the ground. Oh, just some food. Print. How's my temperature solution working out? We cooling down yet? Yeah, put it out of its misery. Like, this hasn't even warmed up this area here.
47. Your duplicants no longer believe in washing their hands.
Had great characters, but the author had no idea what to do with them. What do you think, team? Should we just, open the airlock doors, vent the base, put everyone out of their misery? Or could we keep limping along, try and make some plastic? We're somehow, like, equalizing on food here. We're okay. It was a good colony. And honestly, it still is. It's a fine-ass colony. I've just grown bored of it. Come on, there's 23,000 kilocalories. How are you starving? It hasn't imploded on its own yet. That's the problem. Like, I feel bad purposefully killing it. I have to break the surface and vent the whole asteroid? Alright. We could prioritize digging up. I can even make like an airlock situation where they have to change into suits before they keep going up. Do 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 do. Oxygen mask checkpoint. No, don't give him an oxygen mask checkpoint. I thought you said we had to break the surface first. Vent the whole asteroid and start over. I mean, very soon I'm going to swap over to Armored Core, because that's what I've been wanting to play all day. All day. I just want to, like... It feels weird, like, yeah, we'll come back to this colony where it's like, we've been just... This whole session, it feels like we've been spinning wheels. Like, we had projects, but... Just kinda... We're mostly just trying to, like, mitigate the damage. Oh yeah, you're still going through the whole Shonen Jump vault? Boruto is metal. Whoa, 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 Rock Lee had a child by mitosis? Like, that could really happen in that kind of show. I don't know if you're, like, making a joke or not. Yeah, like, turning the temperature around at this point would be very difficult. Very difficult. That's really where I'm struggling right now. The only solution I can see is getting more air into... Like, I need the input to go way up so the output could go way up. Like, this right here is my input pipe. It looks like more is coming along a lot faster now, but like it splits here. That's what's really slowing me down. Here's a big supply. You come up here, then you come across here. Yeah, maybe I just grab it before the split. God. This just feels like a game where you really need to plan everything beforehand. But it's like also a game where you're supposed to, like, branch out and grow as you go. They're almost conflicting. At least from my brain they are. It's amazing how much we decrease the output once this one split happens. Vent the hot air into space and refill the gas deposits? Like, the problem is all the ambient temperature of the base is hot. And we're trying to, like, pipe air into an area where we cool it off and then pipe the air back again. But, like, before we got to that point, I had built a system of moving air throughout the whole base to keep the oxygen levels high. And that's a problem now. Like, I have so many branching paths, there's no way for me to get, like, the pure output to the right place. I think that's the real problem. The problem is we've hit, like, is it worth trying to save this? It'd be so much work to try and turn the temperature problem around. Here's an idea. Break the surface. So you're on team, just like kill them all. Pump a bunch of water into a pool. And put a hydro tuner on it. Alright, break the surface first. Do. Although, I should also... Stations... Jet suit, atmosphere suit. I'm sure an oxygen mask is good enough. No, your stress is down to 43. I don't know how. I have to run piping up here? Never mind. The heat will get dumped into the pool and boil off the water as steam. No guarantee a new run will be worth it either. See, it's less about being worth it and more like... I find the start, like the first like X hours of this game is really fun. And you get to like... I think this would be what Gomper considers like the mid-game or late mid-game. That's where things kind of like... They grind a little bit. Especially if like a lot of the problems you run into are... This is the early mid-game. Well, good lord. I don't even know how many hours this run's been going on for at this point, but quite a while. Late early game. Based on your progression. But like research-wise, there's like so little left. Do. I'd call it the late early game. So early mid game or late early game? Tend to prefer early game in most things. Is that true for me as well? It might be true for me as well. It might not be true for like story-driven RPGs, at which point I'm usually more excited by the end, but it depends on the game. Like, some of them certainly, I think the early games are better. Like, Final Fantasy VII kind of sags in the middle. But the early game, very memorable, very good. What games do I prefer the end game to over the early game? Plastic and steel will get you into the mid game, which you don't really have yet. It's true. It's weird. I feel like I've been making plastics and steel in other bases we've done, but those bases were so much worse than this base. You have research unlocked, but you aren't using most of that stuff. I don't want to use it. It's tedious. Yeah, I'm struggling to think of games that I prefer the late game over the early game. Adjusting the difficulty sliders on World Gen? I can't remember what this one was. I feel like it was just default. Minecraft? Oh. Even Minecraft. Like, I'm not a huge Minecraft person, but I'm a huge Terraria person. Love Terraria. And I still think I like the early game of Terraria more. Maybe even not the early game, mid-game of Terraria. I really like just digging elaborate mines underground. That's my favorite part of Terraria, is just digging underground. Late game is usually like vanity base building and boss fights that are less fun. Lots of gas vents, a cold biome. Yeah, I'll use your world seed next time. Doo, doo, doo. Dark Souls. Early on, you struggle, you fight, you make your builds, come halfway point, and you're really just going through the motions. Nothing will really change you anymore. That might come with how you play. For me in Dark Souls, and a lot of those games, I really enjoy changing my weapons as I go. I don't typically get locked in until the late game. Like, I'll have my general direction, like I'm doing strength or I'm doing intelligence, but I tend to switch up my spells and switch up my builds. Any given JRPG usually gets better near the end. So for JRPGs, I said before, but like Final Fantasy VII, really love the early game of Final Fantasy VII. And then it kind of sags a little bit in the middle. And then I do enjoy the end again. I think it really depends on the JRPG. I think for Dark Souls, the early game is very, very good. But I think that's because of how it's built. Like, Dark Souls forces you to walk and learn the layout of the world. Like, you have to actually explore. And that makes the early, up to midpoint of that game phenomenal. Again, Dark Souls is always going to be like, if you could replay one game and forget how it was the first time, like, that's why Dark Souls 1 comes up for me. 4 gas vents, 3 AETNs, and 4 metal volcanoes. Metal volcanoes? You just read the ending because you got tired of it? I never do that. I almost always finish my JRPGs. Engine builder board games. Engine builder board games. And then for Bloodborne, I think I prefer the mid to late game of Bloodborne. Like, I like the early game, but by the mid to late game, you get the weird stuff. But the transition's really good, too. You would hate having to relearn a whole game all over again? I think for Dark Souls, it's a less learning and more exploration, experiencing. Because, like, Demon Souls will teach you how to play Dark Souls, but Dark Souls, like, the act of exploring the world is so phenomenal. I almost wish more games would be willing to take the risk of, like, you know what? You don't get fast travel. You actually have to, like, learn this map and wander around. But it's tricky, because if you don't have a good world, it's gonna be fucking annoying. Hardest challenge in every Souls-like you played was the controls. Really? I find the controls very easy for, like, mainline From Software Souls-likes. Some of the Souls-likes that aren't made by FromSoft have bizarre controls. Cut is a great endgame. I feel like I can't agree just because the game's not done yet. I think it has a phenomenal mid-game. We don't quite have the end there yet. What if it comes out and the end game's bad? But I love Cut all the way through. Like, Cut doesn't have a bad part. Can do without fast travel, you just need a mini-map or easy access to a bitmap. See, what I loved about Dark Souls, no mini-map. No map at all. Like, it was all about... It's a 3D game. If you stop and you look, you actually see, like... Oh, there's that large landmark I could see from another area. That means if I walk in that direction, I'll reach where I'm going. I'm like finding shortcuts, elevators that like connect the world every time. I was just like, what? No way! Exactly, like it's just the right size. Dark Souls is just the right size that you don't need a map. My brother has no sense of direction or general spatial sense. I have the same problem. Like, I am garbage at, like, remembering how to go places, but Dark Souls, I never had the problem. But you put me in Neo or Neo 2, I'm angry the whole time because I just literally don't know where I'm supposed to go. Those maps have no landmarks. I hate the map design of Neo. Vampire Survivors is another game that has a cycle of struggle, build, destroy. Vampire Survivors almost has it perfect for like a good end game experience that I might prefer over the beginning. But depending on how built you are, there are runs of Vampire Survivor where you are as powerful as you're going to be by minute like 9, and you have to wait. You have to wait like 15, 20 more minutes, however long. It's like 30 minutes, right? Like you gotta wait for the end of the game to happen for some of those. But that's less a default problem, more like when you've played the game for a while, you have all the metagame unlocks, and so your damage scaling is so high, and like you have all that stuff unlocked. So it's your own fault. Like I could turn that stuff off, I imagine. I can go in there and refund my meta monies. But overall, I agree. Like, Vampire Survivor, it's really fun when you're in the end game. MMOs are usually only good in the end game. I believe you, because I cannot get into MMOs because I drop off before I get past level 20. I get really bored in MMOs. You ignored the curse upgrades. That's not true. I mean, it's true for a while, but at the very end, I unlocked all of them. Right before, like, the first DLC happened. World of Warcraft, I bounce off World of Warcraft by level 20. I just can't do it. Every MMO, I get bored. Every one I've ever played, I just can't do it. I cannot get into massively multiplayer online RPGs. Cannot do it. I've tried... The only one I ever enjoyed was Ultima Online. Ultima Online was pretty good. Uh-oh. Dirt fell. Woof, almost didn't make it there, buddy. Woohoo, seconds away from disaster. Guild Wars 2. I've heard Final Fantasy XIV is excellent. Like, folks that play it love it. I just can't get into it. Well, I shouldn't say that. I haven't tried Final Fantasy XIV. Maybe I could get into it. But I don't think it's worth the chance. Like, even if I got into it, I'd be angry. I don't want to play an MMO. I already have, like, I spend so much time with other games, and an MMO just feels like, what if you could play one game forever? And it's like, no, there's too many games. The story is good. That's the one thing. Like, I enjoy all the Final Fantasies, and 14's always going to be a void. But thankfully 11's also going to be a void forever. You could play it till the end of the current story arc and then just call it good. Final Fantasy 11, my beloved. Did 11 have a good story, out of curiosity? You'd say it's held back by being an MMO, but it couldn't exist in any other form. That might be the one. Like, if it ever goes, like, you could play it without paying money, I might log in and just get the story. 11 had the best setting. Wasn't 11 part of... No. Is 11 part of Ivalice? It was better than Tactics Advanced 2. Yeah, 11 was the one that was part of Ivalice, right? In some capacity. Ivalice is one of my favorite settings in Final Fantasy. I really, really, really like Final Fantasy Tactics. It's like one of my favorite games of all time. And if you haven't seen the Remasterpiece Theater episode I did on Final Fantasy Tactics, you should check it out. You still gotta pay. You don't have to pay for the first 3 expansions with the free trial. Oh, interesting. It would be on the main one with the / shake the box. Up to the 3rd expansion, no time limit. Oh, Nara, you're dangerous here. Just like, hey, did you know there's free cocaine over here? Just free heroin? I just found it on the floor. You want to try some? I hate that I've stabilized on food somehow. Oh, hey, you're a Rift Wizard. You know that one. If you like Rift Wizard, the second link there, that's the VOD channel. I've done every single Archmage trial in Rift Wizard, and I have lots of different just playthroughs. Rift Wizard's something I do, we gotta pop back into. I still need to beat that mod I installed that turns it into a roguelike. It's a roguelike already, but it's called roguelike mode, the mod. We gotta try again. I want to beat that. We've only done 2 attempts on that one. We gotta try one more time. How have I stabilized the food so much? I don't understand. Like, we're not growing anything. It's too hot down here to grow plants. How did I do it? I guess I'll try planting my mealwood up here where the temperature's different. It's less hot up here. It's 29 versus 36 in there. Oh, we'll see if maybe we can get some food growing too. The heat's slowly eating up the base. Don't worry, we're slowly cooling it down. This might not be enough cooling, really. But like, this is cooler air right here. I have another cold biome. I could build another air cooling station down here and pipe air in. Oh, I even have an input for it. Yeah. Oh, baby. Input. Input. Output. This will be so much easier. Except for the part where I need to, like, somehow get the piping up there. I could take a separate route. Hop through the wall, over. I could just hook it onto this pipe here. This is like one of my main oxygen generation rooms, so this is like a perfect place to plug it in. That would distribute the air throughout the base, too. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Need a way to loop the air until it gets to X degrees, then put it into an enclosed base. Yes. But this'll cool it down for now. What you're talking about is future Chris's problem. We just need to solve now Chris's problem. This seems like a good way to solve my problem right now. Yeah. This won't solve now problem. It'll solve future now problem. In a sooner or later kind of way. This is gonna add more cool air in the base, right? It's the perfect solution. Get some wire down here. Depends on how much you're cooling the air by. However much these two machines will cool it. Well, I mean, they were kind enough to provide wire for me here. Might as well take advantage of it. Only one machine's cooling it. I got two here. Two machines. Is there some reason why I would not both cool? Alright, priority 9. They're in parallel and not in sequence. So, like, air's gonna enter this one, and this one. This will cool air, this will cool air. They'll pump air into the same pipe. It's going into cooler 1 or cooler 2 instead of cooler 1, then cooler 2. So it would be better if, like, one machine cooled it and then another machine cooled it further? As opposed to what I'm going for here, which is just two machines doubling the output of cool air? Weird. It's not doubling the output. If two machines are putting out oxygen into a pipe, isn't that doubling the output as opposed to one machine putting oxygen into the pipe? The pipe is only 100% full. Well, I'm going by, like, if we go into ventilation here. So you can see, like, this pipe up here. Just one little cube, versus these, which have more cubes moving through it. Like, this will increase the number of cubes of air moving through it, right? Because it doesn't work like a real pipe. It's weird little cubes that move around. Each cube is 1K. Weird. Smaller cubes are less than 1K. I'm looking like, ideally have this pipe completely filled with cubes. But I know the input will probably be not enough to do that? Each machine eats 1K. Huh. Interesting. Two machines won't eat 2K. Well, look at that. That's the kind of stuff, like, I would play this game for 1,000 years and I'd just be like, what? No. Works like a real pipe. I can just stay like it is. Well, some more air cooling will sooner or later happen. Now gas pumps you want 2 of. Because they pump 500 grams. Ahaha. And the pipe is 1K. Where's my vent system here? So I'm guessing that's 75 right there, and that's 50, and that's 100. Ah, good, that's pumping out some natural gas again. I wonder what Timberborn has updated recently. After this colony, Timberborn might be our next management experience. I really like Timberborn. Those beavers, they got it going on. Can't tell. Can't tell if it's getting cooler yet. But that one setup up there is not enough cooling. The second one. Takes natural gas out? Which one? I have so much going on right now. So this is pumping natural gas. This filter was just there because at the start this was filled with a bunch of other stuff. At this point I could just throw this away. This does nothing at this point. So some of this is now outdated and I just haven't gotten rid of it. The green line goes back. Oh yeah, because eventually I added that on there because I was just like, we just want to get it all into tanks now. So again, broken, old, not quite doing what it's supposed to, but it's moving the gas, and that's the important part. As long as the gas gets going somewhere. Goes back into the white line of the filter. Oh, you mean because of this? It never goes this way anymore, so that never happens now. You'll see, it never actually crosses the line. So it just goes through the filter and moves on to where it needs to go. But it will if it backs up. If that ever happens, I would be very impressed. So far, we have never ran into that situation. Mostly because if it backs up, it has to fill this tank first. And I hope it does. I would love to have a full tank of gas here. Could I and should I fix it? Oh, for sure. But that's not how we do things. It needs to become a problem. Then we fix it. Right now, it's just a potential problem. You could use the plier tool. Plier? Disconnect. Sever conduits and connectors. So just like, snip that right there. Oh, look at that. Do you get your materials back that way? Waiting delivery, come on. I want this done. Ah, the blocks are still there. It's just a connection. I got you. Has this machine ever actually, like, happened? It has 17 and 25 dream journals. I guess it has been happening at least a little bit. Come on. How'd this Paku get here? Ah, eat it. Ah, I can reconnect for free? That's nice. It's a good system. I got some free food for you guys. I don't know how that fish got there. So is this guy like gonna poop plastic one day? So close. Come on. You have to shear him at a station. Oh, so I probably want to wrangle that bad boy. Should I make a new little area for those guys? Needs hydrogen to grow fur. Ugh. Too much work. Unreachable dig. What part of that is unreachable to you? There. God. Come on, I want it done. I just want to know some cool air will be cycling in. And then we can limp along further in another sesh. Can I just like put an industrial fan pointing this way and just push cold air in? Yeah, it is getting pretty warm in some of these spots. Yes, build. Let them cook. You could pump the cold air directly from the cold biome into the base. That's not a bad idea. That's even easier to do, really. Is it breathable air in there? That's a question I should consider. Ventilation. Yeah, it's oxygen. Very breathable, dirty, but very breathable oxygen. I could just, like, shove a gas pump in here. The perfect plan. Yeah. Yeah, after all, why not? Why shouldn't I? Yeah, I know. I've been... We've been dealing with this for a while. Even with, like, insulated pipes, they keep freezing. We just fix them when we gotta smelts. Yeah, we solve the problem as we go. Slap that on there. Slap that on there. Now we'll really start moving some cool air around. Insulated liquid pipe. I don't think there's a super insulated liquid pipe I could be using. Nope, just the insulated one. Unless I want radiant liquid pipe. That doesn't sound right. That's why I want to cool the out pipe of the smelter with the aqua tuner and filter it back in. That's like the in pipe, though. Like, the problem is the water that is using to cool off this, the construction of metal or whatever, it keeps freezing on the way. The material of the insulated pipe matters. I think it's just Is it dirty water? Water? Clean water? Clean water. And the dirty water never freezes for some reason. We've only ever had trouble with this one section of pipe. The material of the pipe surrounding the water. Right. I chose closest material, I imagine. What is this made of? I don't know. Granite? It's made of granite, I think. Oh, cool airs are coming. It's not good air, but it's air. Time for people to be sick, but cool. Sick and cool. Yes. Oh yeah, and this is setting some cool air up now too. Oh, here comes the dirty stuff. Spreading out throughout the base. In all kinds of weird directions. Real question is, will I accidentally send any back? Oh good, some of it's gonna go right back to where it came from. Yes! We're gonna cool it down again! Ooh, even better! Has a thermal conductivity of 0.1? That's not very good. Maybe I should just have a few more outlet pipes around. So, like, in theory, these vents should start going down ever so slowly. Everywhere we see a vent, we should eventually get a little cool pocket. This one's over pressure, unfortunately. We don't have it insulated from the heat, so it won't matter. We just have to combat the heat a little bit. I suppose I could just, like, build an insulated box around all the heating elements, but then those would break. I gotta pour cool air into those boxes and also insulate them. But that sounds elaborate and complicated, so that's a problem for future Chris. At the very least, we got started. We have cool air moving. We could try and harness that better in the future. Then you just have to cool those boxes versus the whole base. Exactly. For right now, we'll start with the whole base, and then we'll focus in. We'll hone in afterwards. Really surprised these haven't been warming up in this area all that much. Poor future Chris, such pain awaits him. There's a real chance that future Chris will just be like, let's just play Timberborn today. Water management in Timberborn's really fun. Yeah, it's getting pretty toasty in here. Pretty Pretty toasty. Maybe we just build a new base. Away from this one. With blackjack and hookers. Either way, I have to pee, so I'm gonna save this. When I come back, I wanna slap some robots together. Have you seen the meteorite defense system? I have not. Honestly, I've never even, like, cracked out of the base yet. Like, we've found vacuum, but we're still on our way up. Finally! I know, you don't like oxygen not included. Which is fair. I just like watching all the little moving parts here. It's the most complicated thing in this game. Even really, I feel like this game is made of like overly complicated systems. Like every time Gomper's like, you should have auto sweepers, and I start looking at conveyor belts and stuff, I'm just like, oh god, on-off switches, logic gates, Jesus.